Yeah, you would say Pocahontas says yes.
See how the laughing works? See how the laughing at these people works? What's up, Patriots? This is Jericho. It is March 4th, I believe. And just thought we'd get together, talk a little bit about the Trump speech last night, and get a little chat going, talk about some other things that are going on in the country these days. I thought that speech last night was fantastic. How about you guys, right? Got a lot of good quotes out of this speech from last night, but if you haven't watched it, definitely watch it. The speeches are coming fast. I mean, already Trump talk last night, and already since then, we got Vance and Tulsi going to the, Deb Bye, good one. Going to the border. Thanks, Deb Bye. I totally did a whole stream and you didn't catch my watermark there last time. But we're all kind of snoozing. We're all just kind of discombobulated, and we're just finding our groove after our astounding victory of getting all them J6ers out of the gulag there, man. Hello, Trina. Thanks, Deb Vibe, by the way. Hi, Lana. Who else we got? Sherry and Jerry. Hello, Jerry. How's it going? Hi, Stua. Good to see you all. So the speech started off kind of with a bang last night, man. Trump made a triumphal entry into the Senate chamber there. And almost from the get-go, we have the goofy caveman congressman from I don't know where, Al Green, the same guy who thought the island of Guam would tip over if too many people went on the island. You remember that debacle like 5 years ago or something? This guy, honest to God, thought an island out in the ocean would tip over if too many people were on it. That's Al Green, okay? And then we got Al Green shaking his cane at the president in the chamber. He was given several chances to sit his butt back down. He didn't take them. Nobody else stood up behind him and had his back, by the way. And finally, Speaker of the House Mike Johnson had to restore order to our own Congress and have him removed. I mean, not every day you see that kind of stuff. Nothing surprises me out of the Congress, though, lately, man. So many highlights, and just like that clip I just showed you, man, Pocahontas just clapping so hard that her head is shaking as the whole left side of the Congress was laughing at her, man. So that's exactly what we got to do to these insane people who think Kamala was the right choice in this. I mean, we just got to ridicule them and make them feel humiliated, you know, because it is humiliating that they thought that was the right person to lead this country in the time that we were in there, man. Yeah, I'm so glad, Beverly, they kicked him out of there. It was not a good look, though. And, you know, I'm not up on Congress here. Congress is getting nothing done here. The only people getting things done is the Trump team and the people that I believe are behind the Trump team that have been working really hard over the last 4 or 5 years now to make the things happen that are happening right now. You can't imagine that Trump's appointees in his cabinet, they're the front people, okay? They are, in my opinion, the central casting of this whole thing, because this whole thing's got to get it presented to the brainwashed zombies out there, right? So that we get a consensus here in this country. And it is the truth that they're presenting, but I have to believe that there is a whole army of people behind the scenes, behind our lead people here. And I'm talking about Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, Hegseth and all. They have huge, important positions, but they are somewhat of the people that present the ideas to the American public and reveal and expose what needs to be done here, man. I don't know. We can debate about that, and I got into a little argument with a guy in a chat about that, but I mean, you know, they got people that write their speeches for them, right? Pam Bondi sits down in a chair and they do up her hair and her face. That's got to take an hour before every time she gets on screen. Kash Patel, Dan Bongino. I mean, these are good guys. They're definitely proven reliable and trustworthy to present these ideas to the public. But there has got to be an army. We can't kid ourselves. There has got to be behind the scenes people that are really the mechanics behind the whole thing that's happening right now. Hey, Critical Thinker, good to see you, bud. Hi, Barbara Shocker. Deb for Freedom, good to see you, Deb. How you doing? I hope everyone is well. What else from it? Man, the moment of the night was this little kid, DJ Daniel, the brain surgery survivor, has got a Secret Service he got sworn in as a Secret Service agent, basically. This little kid, he's 13 years old, has been through hell and back with these brain surgeries that he's been having, and it just made his day. And this young man was such a respectful human being there, which was definitely lacking in that room yesterday night. And that was just the moment of the night. And then when the other guy got his award, DJ Daniel was slapping him on the back and high-fiving him and stuff. I mean, just the respect out of this kid was unbelievable, man. And yeah, CC, the Democrats highly disrespected several people in that room last night by sitting there like bumps on a log with their stupid little signs. Just abhorrent behavior from adults, needless to be the behavior from our elected officials in this country, man. Yeah, Ned, he did. He put the adults to shame in that room. That is for sure, man. Oh, DJ was in the Oval Office today and gave Trump a hug. Oh, I was so glad. I could tell that kid, the last thing that they showed when he got his Secret Service ID badge there, I'm pretty sure I lip read him as saying, I need to go down and protect the president, man. I mean, I think that's what he said. So, I don't know. That was just a really, really cool moment. And then I saw some interview. I can't remember where I saw it today, where he was talking about his brain surgeries, and he's been through 13 different brain surgeons. And I mean, he is just a matured mind. And he was saying something about how he's got 13 different personalities. I don't know, man. That might have been a deep fake or something, but it was moving. The intelligence and respect and maturity that young man had. And I just thought that was the moment of the night, man. Some of the other great comments by Trump was talking about the Butler, Pennsylvania incident, and that how he believed that God saved me to make America great again. And that, I mean, every Democrat in the room has to go, I guess so, because CNN was there to film it for some reason, live stream it. The only Trump speech that CNN ever showed up to live stream was the Butler, Pennsylvania event, and it didn't happen. It did not go down how they thought it was going to go down. So yeah, Trump said that God saved me to make America great again. And then he was talking about how the DEI is dead and critical race theory is dead. And then he said there are only two genders, male and female. Like the president of the United States has to actually stand in front of America and state these facts of being a human being in this world right now. There are only two genders. But then that last line he said is, our message to the children of America is, you are perfect, exactly the way God made you. And that sums it up. I mean, every Christian in the world should have been standing up, shouting about that one. That, yeah. Swally, good to see you, bud, man. He's still got it. God save small water guy to make America sexy again. Man, Diane Kelly, I don't know where I saw that today. And it might have been, I don't know, man. I've been jumping around trying to find some new people. I got a bunch of new sources to find some. It might have been on the Dilly Show today. There's a guy on Rumble called The Dilly Show, and he does a 2-hour live stream every day talking about the things and showing all the memes that Dilly team has been doing, man. I'm not helping. I could get a haircut. I know, Smalley. I know. I'm getting shaggy again here. Democrats sat on their hands the whole night. They didn't clap about one thing, except once. I could tell that the Democrats started clapping right after Trump said about us sending Ukraine hundreds of billions of dollars. And the Trump team, or the Democrats in the room, started clapping about that. And it wasn't, a round of applause. The Republicans weren't clapping about that. But that's what got Trump that's what gave Trump the opportunity to trigger Elizabeth Warren there, to the point where she would just clap violently like she did, man. I mean, you could see her shaking, man. It was horrible. And that was right after they all laughed at her and continued to laugh at her. It's Critical Thinker. It's called The Dilly Show. So Rumble's weird, where you got to type in the exact title of a channel for it to come up on the line. So it's capital T H-E space capital D-I-L-L-E-Y space capital S-H-O-W. And that I've had trouble with Rumble finding channels that I knew existed, but they don't have the same way of finding a channel as YouTube does. It's definitely not as good as YouTube when it comes to that, man. But the Dilly meme team has been putting out memes for, I don't know, years now, a couple of years, and was integral in getting Trump elected with the memes. He works with several other memers who are prolific in putting memes out. And every day he comes out with more, him and his team come out with more. What I didn't know was that he was a commentator and stuff, that he had been doing a broadcast for years, and I only just recently found him doing it. So I find pretty good enjoyment in watching The Dilly Show on Rumble. The Dems didn't clap for Laken Riley. I mean, Laken Riley was killed by somebody who the FJB administration allowed into this country. Horrible, horrible. They just sat there like bumps on a log. They didn't clap for DJ Daniel when he got his reward. And I saw one commentator, it was like a left-wing mainstream media lady saying, "Oh, the only reason I allowed myself to feel emotion during last night's speech was when they gave that award to DJ Dilly." But then she went into a whole diatribe of how she hopes DJ Daniel doesn't grow up to be a police officer defending the Capitol during an inauguration. And I mean, it's sick what's coming out of these people's heads, man. Oops. Yeah, they basically want more years of war. That's right. That's right, Debt for Freedom. They don't want war. Zelensky was not ready to talk peace when he was here, and that was very obvious. He has since made and Trump announced it last night, that he had a letter from, Trump has a letter from Zelensky saying he wants to talk peace. He wants to come and sign the papers now. But then since Trump said that, Zelensky has made other comments where he doesn't want peace. This guy has a grift going, and there's a lot of people that are making him make the grift continue, and that's the only way that he's going to be in power any longer there. Allie Waters, you have an old pauper named Dilly because of Dilly. All right, the Dilly meme team. Brendan Dilly is his name. That's right. That's great, man. No, Smalley, it's not the Dilly from the Bud Light commercials, no. How you doing, Lou? Good to see you. Hey, Priscilla. Good to see you, too. I see you guys out there in the chats all the time. That's great. The Democrats didn't clap for the no tax on tips, Social Security, or overtime issue. They hate you. They want you to pay taxes no matter what. They're all screaming how Trump's going to take away Social Security and Medicaid, but somebody's got to explain to them that they're only taking that away from the illegal immigrants that are in this country, because they just can't make that leap of a conclusion in their heads. It's crazy, man. Kind of weird how the Supreme Court and those generals, did you see the generals in that speech last night? They just sit there. I don't think they like Trump at all, man. And they're like the people in the costumes. You know, you got these generals with their awards and their braids and their uniform and their polished heads and stuff. And then you got the dark robed Supreme Court justices sitting there. They never clap about anything because that wouldn't be decorum. It just reminds me of some goofy science fiction movie or something, man. Those people aren't normal. They're weird. They are weird. And these are the enemies of Trump right now. These are the enemies of the people. The Supreme Court just shot down, after that speech this morning, they shot down that Trump can't not send the military aid to Ukraine. So who do these people work for? The commander-in-chief of the country can't do what he wants to do? And the Supreme Court came in and said, you can't do that. I know, Deb for Freedom, they're not allowed to show favoritism at all, but they just look like creepy folks to me, man. It looks like a bad science fiction movie or something. And I mean, they got to wear a costume. What's up with the costumes? I just don't get it, man. I just don't get it. And by the way, about this Ukrainian aid thing, I mean, there's a lot of discrepancies going on. Trump keeps saying $350 billion, okay? Zelensky's saying $143 billion, and he only saw $77 billion of it, okay? So Zelensky's admitting it. He hasn't seen all the money to it. And then the Supreme Court said that he can't suspends the military aid. Donald Trump cannot suspend the military aid to Ukraine, okay? So is military aid the only money that we're giving to Ukraine? No, it's not. The whole Ukrainian government is operating on money that we give them also. So I'm sitting here wondering, are we still giving Ukraine money? Even when Donald Trump says we're going to suspend the military aid, that does not mean that all money flowing out of this country over to Ukraine is stopping, because their pensions are funded by us in the government. Their court systems is supported by U.S. money. The whole country is floating because of U.S. money in there. They don't have enough money to even run a government, and we've been giving them money for that also. So this $350 billion amount isn't just military aid. It's everything else we're giving the military. And I'm wondering if it isn't also the money that the CIA was using all the way back to 2014 when they funded the uprising, when Ukraine rose up against Russia and shut down their port on the Black Sea and all that stuff. So, I mean, a lot of information needs to come out. And it's got to come out fast for the American people to understand it. And Pete Hegseth is the guy that's going to present all this information to America. He's a polished TV personality. These are the types of people that we meet. And that's why I think they are more central casting than they are just kick ass at their jobs, you know. Yeah, Smalley, we're not going to get anywhere with our Congress, man. Look at them today. Look at them today talking about sanctuary cities. Do you think that group of people is going to get anything done? We've been waiting on Congress to do something forever, man. It ain't going to happen through Congress. I agree. We should be letting them know everything, and I have been letting them know with emails and phone calls and stuff. But they are not going to be part of this solution, man. In fact, we're going to have to call the herd in the Congress is what I think is going to happen. That might be, CC. CC says, is that what Trump meant when he told the Supreme Court Justice, thank you, I won't forget what you did for Ukraine? What you did regarding Ukraine. That might have been it, and I didn't catch it because I didn't hear the news about them rejecting Trump stopping the military aid until this morning. So I don't know exactly when Supreme Court ruled on that. And $350 billion, by the way, America, we could have rebuilt the entire U.S. Navy for $350 billion. That's the amount of money that's going into that country. And that's just Ukraine. That is just Ukraine. It's totally sick how much money. In fact, I got a list here. This is all some of the other money that we're giving out, man. Right here. This is how much of our taxpayer money politicians have given to foreign countries in the past 4 years. Mexico, $295 million. Estonia, Lithuania, Poland. And then you get down a list, the numbers get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, man. Philippines, $809 million. We just give to the Philippines for what? I mean, yeah, they're our buds. Poland is our friends and all that, but what gives with all these numbers? Now look at the bottom of this list. Lebanon, $1 billion. Iraq, $2.2 billion. Are we really giving Iraq money? Jordan, Afghanistan, Egypt, the people who won't take the freaking refugees from Hamas, they're brothers. They won't take them, but we give them $6.3 billion. What does that come to in the last 4 years? $1.5 billion a year. Egypt, $6.3 billion. And then right here at the bottom, I think it's out of the screen. Oh, look at that, Israel. $8.5 billion. That's $2.1 billion a year goes to Israel. I'm not an Israel hater. I'm not an Israel lover. But something's up with Israel, man. Hey, Troll Slayer, good to see you, man. How you doing, Sonal? Sonal's doing some things with his channel over there. Go check out Sonal. Hi, Carol Burton. Good to see you. Thank you, trusty mods, for being here. You know how we are attacked. Oh, good. my good friend David Chianti. Oh, what a swell guy you are, David. Thanks for being here, man. Thanks for boosting the algorithm. So yeah, there's a lot to that $350 billion that Trump keeps throwing around there. No, numbers don't add up and all that stuff, man. Yeah, I'll never forget that either, Allie Waters. Never forget them bringing Zelensky into that very chamber where Trump was speaking last night, and they all had their Ukrainian flags. They unfurled a Ukrainian flag, a giant one, across the front of the room, and they gave him a standing ovation. And then during the election, Zelensky came and campaigned for Kamala Harris here in Pennsylvania. He went over to a bomb factory here in Pennsylvania and actually autographed a couple of the bombs that we were going to send to him eventually with our governor, Josh Shapiro. So I can't imagine how stoked Trump was to have Zelensky sitting next to him after all of that. And the fact that it's like Big D, you know, how does Big D not punch these people that attack him? You know, by the way, Big D got assaulted again. But anyways, Big D holding back, right? He doesn't punch these people. And it's just like Trump sitting there with Zelensky. Trump knows damn well that Zelensky campaigned for Kamala, that Zelensky came in and he's just swindled our country out of $350 billion. But Trump can just sit there and like start to have a normal conversation until it goes off the rails with his arrogance, you know. But America needed to see that, man. I know a lot of people were saying that Trump shouldn't have done that in front of the news cameras. Well, I don't think Trump did that in front of news cameras. That's normal protocol. They get out of the car, they go sit in the yellow chairs, they do some comments, and then any world leader that comes to the White House does this, man. Then they go have their talk, their behind closed doors talks, and then they come out to the room with the podiums in it, and they do an official press conference. So Zelensky couldn't even get past the hello, shake hands part of the day without coming across as an arrogant little, you know what. Yeah, Lou Maldonado, the Dems paddles were childish at the Trump speech. And the one lady had a whiteboard that she could write a different message on every time and hold it up. Just absolute childish behavior. I can't put any faith in our Congress anymore at this point, man. They let the J6ers rot in prison for 4 years. They didn't look into the election when 2 million people showed up in Washington, D.C. and said, please look at the election. I can't count on Congress. In fact, Melania just had a table discussion with members of the Senate, and they are puffing their chests out, thinking they did something really good for us here. And I really don't like the fact that they sucked Melania into this, but Ted Cruz and Melania Trump had a table discussion yesterday about the Senate passing a new act that has to go back to the House to get voted on now, called the Take It Down Act. And the Take It Down Act, it's really interesting because this issue just happened here in Lancaster, where some high school kids took photos of girls in their class and photo imposed nude pictures with their heads on it, okay? And they were all looking at them and sending them to each other, whatnot. It was a shitty thing to do, right? But the Senate now wants to elevate this crime, and it should be a crime to, take someone's photo and, make nude porno pictures out of them and stuff. It's not a cool thing to do at all, but it's a very 16-year-old thing to do. We all have to come to grips with our sexuality, basically, okay? It's part of growing up here. But the Senate wants to elevate that crime to the equivalent of a rape, okay? And it's not. It's not. So now we're going to be handing out felonies for posting a picture is what it boils down to here. And I just don't like the fact that they reeled in Melania Trump into this thing. It sounds like a good thing. I listened to the whole thing, man, and it was there was a couple girls there that this happened to, and I know Sapphire, but it's not a rape, okay? That's my point. The Take It Down Act. It is not a rape. Nobody has been touched. Nobody has been violated physically, and that's what a rape is, okay? We got to come to some sense of rationality about our laws. The Take It Down Act is addressing the fact that you should be able to call Google up and say, hey, this is a doctored photo, and you should take it down. And yeah, that should definitely happen, okay? And then they brought up these instances where there's certain kids committed suicide because of this. And not only that, not only did it happen with porno pictures, but it also happened to some guys with sexual criminal accusations against them using pictures like this also. And one boy, son of a House of Representatives guy, I believe, committed suicide over it. So we got some suicides all because of this also. But suicide is self-murder, first of all right? So nobody murdered a suicide victim. Our laws with this holding people civilly responsible for suicides thing is overboard also. We know that through all the police officers that are suing J6ers for their suicides. I mean, we got some deep, deep issues here. And I'm not saying there is no, that these boys should be allowed to post these pictures. No, they shouldn't. That is not cool at all. They should be kicked out of the school. There should be major repercussions and stuff. But these are deep issues. These are issues that we should be talking about instead of what kind of gas can is legal or what light bulb to use. You know what I mean? That's what Congress is doing when we got these seriously deep issues that we should be addressing, man. Yeah, it is a form of bullying. No doubt about it, Sherry. No doubt about it. And I think we just need to get together and talk about this kind of stuff. But posting a picture is not a rape. Nobody was physically harmed. There should be a differentiation in these crimes. And I don't know what the answer is, but I do know that this Take It Down Act is above and beyond anything, and there are bigger issues that our Congress should be addressing at this point in our country's predicament right now, you know? Allie Waters, is this directed only at minors? The only examples that they used were minors in the roundtable discussion that Melania gave yesterday. And yeah, kids can be mean. That's right. Living up to bullies, standing up to bullies. When you're making a decision to take your own life, there has to be people in your life that see the signs to this and rescue you from that. One of those things is having a good foundation in God, you know, and these are all things that, you know, nobody gets the instruction manual when they get a kid, you know. It's hard, man. Family rights matter? Yes, absolutely, man. This is why we need God. This is why God delivers his scriptures to us so that we can see the words that he delivered to us. Not only did God deliver these words to us, he put his message into a message that transcends language, man. He's talking about a man and a woman in a garden when he first gets started, you know. This is something that people will know for the rest of time, that men are men, women are women, and there's a garden, and there's a home, and you have children. All of God's lessons can be learned in everything that we need to do to exist as human beings here, to procreate, to bathe, you know. you don't accept Christ as your Savior once when you're 10 years old, and then you're good, you know? And how do you learn that? Well, if I took a shower when I'm 10 years old, do I got to ever take a shower again? No, you got to bathe daily. You got to, and that's the same thing with this sin condition that the humans have, that we have. It's a daily struggle. It takes daily maintenance to learn about it and correct it. Amen, man. This is the things that we should be talking about, I believe. But God made the condition of being a human being directly applicable to being able to understand his character and his plan for us and why he created everything here. Yeah, they've taken God out of the classroom, and yeah, putting your kids on the internet, that's another thing there, Smalley. Think twice about that, you know? That I'm not a fan of Facebook. Facebook like flushes people to just post pictures of their little children and stuff, and I'm glad a lot of that ain't on the internet still from my childhood too. That would be embarrassing at this point, wouldn't it? So man, we got big issues to talk about. So anyways, yeah, Big D was assaulted again. He went down, he was in DC last night trying to get a shot of the motorcade. He was down right near the courthouse there on Constitution Avenue. And I didn't catch this, but he put out a short about it today, that at some point during the day, some new DC rat was riding a bike down the road. Not sure if it was a man or a woman. It's hard to tell. And she gets off of her bike right in front of Big D, filming on a corner. There's 8 policemen standing 15 feet away, 20 feet away. This person gets off of their bike, walks right over next to Big D, and swings the bike around and hits him, I don't know where, because there was not a second cameraman this time. And you can't really see, but it shakes the whole camera. Big D goes, hey, and then says to the cops, hey, that woman just assaulted me. And literally, they turn around and walk away from him. I mean, they are not there. These cops that are in DC are just elevated parking lot attendants at this point. I don't think he caught the perp, and no, the police did not respond to Big D asking for help, claiming he was assaulted, which is obvious that by what happened to the camera. You can see the camera move. You can see the tire of this woman's bike come in. I'm thinking it was a woman. I don't know. It is really hard to tell with this one. But check it out. Big D's got a little video out. Put a comment in there. Give it some traction. Share it out. Big D's got a target on his ass right now in D.C., that's for sure. And, you know, I'd stay away from there, but I like it watching what he films when he's down there. I think it'd be good to have 2 cameramen, though. That'd be sure. So if somebody could help Big D out and be the second cameraman down there, that's almost what you need, man. When Restoration Movement was down in D.C. and we would go to, like, the archives and protest, we never went down with 1 camera. It was always 2 for that reason. And you never put the 2 cameras in the same place, man, because they're going to go after the cameraman. So if there's 2, then you got 2 camera people filming each other from different directions. That's the way to do this, man. And then that way you catch everything. And then they can go to jail. Like, what was the other guy's name? The other guy that assaulted Big D, that spray painted him in the eyes with the paint there, man. Oh, you did see her later in the stream, Jerry. Okay. I was bopping back and forth between D's stream and the actual speech there, so I didn't watch that whole part. But it looked like that was daylight hours, so that must have happened way before I started watching Big D yesterday. So anyways, good work, Big D. For your information, anybody that doesn't know, that's Big D's channel is 1776 MG Media. Check him out, man. He's doing great stuff. He's going full time, full bore. Another guy's doing a great job lately is Oreo Express, man. He's doing a news feed. He's going over things. He brings in clips onto his show like I wish I could do. But I guess he's got a computer and he can, he clips news feeds, shows them, and then you can talk about them. You get a good chat going. It's a good way to get together. So everyone crying about, are the families broken up now? These are the places we can go to get together and talk about things. I'll try to be that outlet on some things, but man, I just feel so inadequate as far as technology goes. I don't know how to clip a 5-minute news broadcast, put it on a screen so we can talk about it with my head like really small in the corner here so we can talk about it as it goes. So many people do that so much better. Oreo Express is one of them. And the Dilly Show, that's another one. And then when you get on Rumble, you can talk freely in the chats. Your comments don't disappear because, YouTube is censoring the comments. So I've been utilizing Rumble quite a bit more lately. Hello, Glory B. Good to see you. Hi, Lindy. Thanks for dropping in, Patriots. Oh, what else we got? Vance and Tulsi went down to the border. Gave some great speeches down there. Vance is gifted at speaking, that's for sure, man. Oh, Troll Slayer, I wanted to tell you that Pat King from the Canadian convoy got 3 months house arrest. Oh, man. That's horrible, man. Canada's got the issues, too. They got issues, too. What do we got? Here, we got some good news here. I can do this. This is as high tech as it gets here, Patriots. President Trump's DOJ just announced they're looking into election integrity hero Tina Peters' 9-year prison sentence for abuse of the criminal justice process. So we got the Trump's brand new team in the DOJ officially looking into Tina Peters' 9-year prison sentence. And I don't know if that's a felony or a misdemeanor. What is abuse of the criminal justice process exactly? I'm not sure. Amen, glory be. Prayers for all these patriots under persecution here. We've all fought so hard. And everybody did not go through this unscathed. StreamYard, Jericho, is where a lot of our friends are able to picture in the picture. Yeah. I wish I could do that, Glory be. I really wish I could do that stuff. It's, I really got to stretch my abilities just to be able to jump into somebody else's StreamYard stream. So that's the limit for me. I don't know what it is. It's a mental block. It's just lack of using it all the time. I don't know. I am able to jump on somebody's StreamYard, and if more people would do it, I would jump in, I have jumped in a lot of StreamYard chats. And I like that venue. I do like that venue. It's a little... sometimes the volume, the sound isn't good. It's hard when you got 4 or 5 people on the screen. That, it's hard to do it that way. I like it with 2 or 3 people on, and we got a topic, and we're not just gabbing, I'm 2 hours from DC there, CC. I know, critical. That's what I'm waiting for. Some kid that needs to do high school credits for something that is a whiz kid on the computer, Yeah, Jerry's really good at it, man. Jerry is good at it. I haven't been seeing Jerry lately, though. Jerry, you still doing it? Yeah, my oldest grandkid is 18, but she's a dancer. She's not a computer kid. She can dance really good, though. I'll tell you what. They've won trophies. She's got trophies that are taller than she is, man. It's amazing. All right, what else do we got? Trump, I don't know if I covered this stuff from before, but it's important, man. Trump put out a True Social post that they have returned all the stuff they removed from Mar-a-Lago during the raid. So all that super secret information that Trump shouldn't have had is now returned to Trump and will be placed in the Trump Presidential Library when he is out of office. All right, Jerry, just hasn't been on lately, doing some other things, as we all got to do, Jerry, for sure. But yeah, your venue is very good to get Patriots together, man. No, NCC, I'm done with DC. I ain't going back there. I hate it. I absolutely despise that city. DC is one gigantic MK Ultra project, man. You don't get 98% all Kamala voters without some type of program going on there. And everything from the nightly news in DC to the traffic signs on the roads to the every system that is in place in DC is meant to turn you into a mindless zombie that would vote for Kamala Harris. I can't stand DC. I would be happy as clam to never go back to that godforsaken city ever again. Unless they tear down that Washington Monument. I don't ever want to go back there again, man. And it ain't just because I got arrested there. It's more than that. I hated it from the minute I got there. And I just despised it. But it was a mission that we had to do with the People's Convoy, 1776 and the Gulag. It was really hard to be there. We made it work, made the best of it. But that is one godforsaken place on this earth, man. Yeah, hope maybe if they all move out and they tear down that Washington Monument, but I'm not going there till that Washington Monument is leveled. I know what that thing means, you know, and till that thing's gone, it ain't going to get any better. The Washington Monument is an obelisk. What the hell is an Egyptian obelisk doing in our nation's capital? Look it up. Look it up. I don't even think I can get into that on YouTube. It's too sexually descriptive, you know? It's sick. It is absolutely sick. And that's a whole era of our history, early to mid 1800s, when there was some wacky shit going on that is unexplained at this point, that people are just now dipping into the issues that happened during that period of time. And something happened to our country right around then, and we're still sorting that out, I believe. To this day. I think that was the birth of the deep state, was early 1800s, when it became visible in this country. It probably started before then. And yeah, 1776 is not just the Declaration of Independence, it's also the birth of the Illuminati. And you might think I'm a wacko, but I've studied this stuff pretty extensively. And 1776, the Illuminati was started, and and everything was, innocent for a while until that mid 1800s period of time. Another interesting story that I'm not sure if I covered in the last video or not was in Charleroi, Pennsylvania. Remember the Haitians, and Trump said they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, right? Remember that story? Charleroi, Pennsylvania was one of the towns that was happening in. And our own MAGA warriors, the incredible patriotic flag wavers from Western Pennsylvania, actually took a little field trip one day and drove down to Charleroi, Pennsylvania. And they asked a couple questions. They went into an immigrant store and they were seeing these vans all over the place. And they noticed that there was these employment agencies there that would bring in workers for the factories. And the locals were saying how their wages were too low because they can get these cheap factory workers from the employment agencies. Well, lo and behold, a man named Andy Ha, who owned the employment agency, was just found guilty of harboring 25 illegal aliens in these buildings that he owned. That the vacancy, or he wasn't allowed to cram this many people in a house. He was stretching the walls there to keep these people housed. 25 illegals, and skating on $3.1 million worth of IRS taxes. So MAGA warriors, that field trip was right over the target. And they uncovered that before it became a thing. And I hope possibly they might have had something to do with that investigation getting started. They don't know about this yet. And they haven't said MAGA Warriors hasn't said anything about it, but they were right over that target in Pennsylvania. So there it is. The Haitians that were in Charleroi, Pennsylvania were illegal aliens. They were being used by an American named Andy Ha, and he was ripping off the tax system, having them working under the table. And the factories were able to hire these workers from Andy Ha for less than they could pay American workers legally. So, there it is. Illegal immigrants causing low wages and unemployment to happen for Americans. And finally, another one got caught. So, hallelujah. Law and order and justice sometimes works, right? That's just one. That's one down. There's also this other guy in our House of Representatives named Andy Ogles. I forget what state he's from. I think Tennessee. He is beginning impeachments for the judges. He's got a billboard out in front of his office at, I can't remember what building. He's got the office in there in D.C. But he is leading the way for beginning impeachments of these judges. He needs Mike Johnson's cooperation in order to do this. And one of the facts is that one of these judges is from Canada. So what do we got? A Canadian guy here being a judge at high level in America for, man? I think we need higher wages, we do. But this low wage workforce has been too available for us, and they've gotten away with regulations. There's too many regulations on this stuff too, man. My Rumble page, and I have not been doing anything with it because I don't know how, is 00 Jericho also. But you got to type it in just right. No spaces. I think it is a 00, not a 00. Otherwise, you won't find it. But I have not posted any of this to Rumble yet. I'll probably wait till YouTube shuts me down till I go to Rumble because I procrastinate everything. Okay, I'd like to talk about this Pam Bondi Epstein file thing a little bit here. So nobody's reported on it yet, but apparently the FBI raided the FBI. Is that what just happened here? Pam Bondi came out and said, I have sitting on my desk the Epstein files, the Epstein list. And it came time to release that list, and it turns out she did not have it. All right. So the left used that to try to drive a wedge between Bondi and Trump and us. And that didn't work. But apparently, Bondi did get out ahead of herself somehow there, where she did not have all that sitting on her desk. And Pam Bondi, being from Florida, should know that there are thousands, if not millions of pages of Epstein file list stuff, because Epstein had a house down there that got raided. So all these people are brand new in office, right? But the FBI is still pulling this kind of stunt. And that's why I say Pam Bondi's central casting. She just presents us with the ideas here. And there's got to be people in the background. But since then, I've heard that a truckload of stuff showed up at Pam Bondi's office, and that Kash Patel and her are going through it to scrub it from any grand jury information or information to keep the identities of the victims secret. So yeah. That's happening. So, but it hasn't been released yet. So it remains to be seen if we are ever really going to see this stuff. And this is a pivot point. I believe that Congress and every bureaucracy in D.C. is still fighting tooth and nail against Donald Trump at this point. And it's going to become fairly obvious the dire circumstance that we are in. It is way more dire than we believe it to be. The answers to these, I don't believe we will ever vote ourselves out of these issues that we're having as a country. I don't know how everything's going to pan out in the end. I do believe we are going to win in the end, but there is still major oppositions to Donald Trump and his team at this point. The head of the Southern District of New York FBI field office was fired. Okay, so there we got one head to roll. Fired was all that has happened to him. Somebody who has done this to the DOJ and withheld information and done that should be prosecuted, though. They don't just lose their job, but we'll see. We'll see. Maybe that'll come around in the future here once all the prosecutions start happening. There should be, and now right-winger people are saying we might never see the list. They might have already destroyed the list, okay? The list is not even the relevant pieces of information. The evidence is what the relevant pieces of information were. So they took from Epstein's 4 or 5 properties that he owned around the world in this country, they took computers and surveillance video footage. That is the evidence that we need to see as a people. And we not only need to see, this is just the first one, man. Trump promised us JFK files, RFK files, Martin Luther King files, the Epstein files, and the 911 files. So all of a sudden, absent from any of the discussion about this, are we ever going to see the files things, is the 9/11 files. Nobody, right wing, left wing, has brought that, has even 911, 9/11 has not been uttered by anybody in 2 weeks, okay? So they're trying to sweep this under the rug, I believe. We have to demand that we get the files for 9/11 out of it, because we got to know what happened there. We got to know that council that they had to investigate 9/11 was a sham, just like the J6 committee was a sham, just like the Warren Commission was a sham after the John F. Kennedy killing. They've been shamming us with these committees forever, and we have yet to get one shred of evidence from any of them yet. So, I don't know. Yeah, we got Trump in office. Yeah, we got a Trump team in place. We've taken over the top positions on a lot of these agencies. Elon's uncovering all kinds of stuff. And all Elon is covering is what money has gone out of the country. Nobody's even looked at what money's coming back into the country yet. So, I mean, there is 5% of the investigation is happening right now with the money corruption in our government, but 0% of the investigations are forthcoming or even on the horizon at this point about all the kickback money that's been coming back into this country, back into our arms manufacturers and dealers that are here, man. I know, Deborah, it's hard. It's hard. It's only been 6 weeks. You're right. But all of a sudden, nothing is panning out. And this Epstein is some information, at least, should have come out, you know. So what? Well, and some did come out with that binder, the white binder that they tried to make us look foolish with the other day. The information that Pam Bondi did release to the people, and then they did photograph him walking out of the White House with like a trophy, which turned out to be a plastic Cracker Jack prize, you know. It wasn't anything at all to be proud of, and they got used. They got used for that. And nobody's reporting on it. Jesse Waters isn't reporting on it. Fox isn't reporting on it. So let's get back to We the People media here. I don't know if you guys are watching Fox anymore, but Fox's main crime is omitting news, and we got to get our news sources together. So that's why people like Oreo Express are so important. That's why people like 1776 MG Media are so important. They are boots on the ground right there, showing us. And here's a couple other people that I wanted to share this with you. The Dilly Show, that's on Rumble. There's a guy that's been in our chats. His name is Bullets and Barbecue. Okay, he has been doing not daily, but if there's news, he's just replaying coverage of this stuff with a chat room going. And not a lot of people have been clicking into his thing yet, but I think he's providing a good space for us to do this in. So I'd ask you to go check out and subscribe to Bullets and Barbecue. Another guy that's doing some excellent, just boots on the ground work is a kid named Nick Shirley. This kid actually went to Ukraine 6 months ago. He was, the latest thing I just watched him, he went down to El Salvador and toured the prisons that this guy just built down there. I can't remember the president's name of El Salvador, but he's a good guy. He totally turned his country around down there. And among other countries down there, we got some good countries now. We got Mele in Argentina. He's totally turned his country around. We have Bolsonaro in Brazil there. He had it going on until they did their little January 8th movement down there, which was a replay of January 6th here, and they're working their way through that. But yeah, we got a lot of North American continent countries are coming together, and South American countries. We're coming together. And this is the zone of influence that Trump is trying to establish. I believe Trump is establishing zones of influence, which will allow the Chinese to have their zone of influence, the Russians will have their zone of influence, and America will have our zone of influence. And basically, the Western Hemisphere is our zone of influence right now. And he is doing everything he can to consolidate and protect that realm of influence. So that's not a NATO program. That's not a UN program. That's a Trump program that I think people got to be aware of, man. Yes, Congress is seriously underperforming. That's a great word, Critical. That's the Trump way of putting it, man. Instead of going, oh, those guys are all POSs. They are underperforming, man. Oh, his bullet's in here. All right, man. I've been watching what he's doing. He was celebrating Black History Month last month. Boy, that was some doozy stuff he was showing on there. All right, another guy that I thought got thrown off of YouTube. I used to watch him years ago. Was a guy named John Burke, B-U-R-K. He's back on YouTube, and he does some really funny spoof stuff. Remember Bob Ross, the painter? And he would paint his little paintings, like, ooh, we'll paint some little trees over here. And he puts on a Bob Ross wig and does the funniest skits while he's painting a painting, just ripping on Democrats, man. So John Burke, he's on YouTube. I haven't found him on Rumble. I don't know if he's on Rumble or not. And then I just seen today he does have some type of a live stream that he does. Uh-oh. All right, I'm having a battery issue here. So my battery's dying here. I'm going to have to wrap this up. Other things, Lindsey Graham throwing Zelensky under the bus right after he had a meeting with him before the Trump thing. That was pretty interesting to see. So I do believe that the deep state rats are scrambling. They know it's coming to an end. We just got to keep putting the screws to them and watch Trump do, make sure we got his back, make sure we don't get splintered up into groups again. Just keep it together, Patriots, keep it together. And while we're watching Trump do all this work, this beautiful work that him and his team are doing on this country, then it's not my prostate, dude. We got to focus on the next big story, and that is your state government, okay? Because everything that the federal government has been doing to us, your state government has been doing it too, okay? So we got to doge our states. We already got some guys in Pennsylvania legislature that's calling to doge the Pennsylvania accounts. Every state, you're going to have to get back into have a serious look at your state governments, and that is the next big battle. There is no break time coming up soon here for us, Patriots. We got to keep our shoulder to the wheel. We have done great things up until this point. We got to just keep that momentum going, and we can keep it going, but we can't rest on our laurels. We can't get splintered into groups. They're going to continuously try to splinter us up into groups here for sure. And that is obvious. Daily, there's another reason to split everybody up, man. No, Ellie Water, I didn't see that. Tucker Carlson put a post up about Graham's sudden about face. That's interesting because I'm sure Graham made millions of dollars off it. He's a notorious war hawk, you know. Yeah, we got to keep it together, critical thinker. Viva Fry has a live interview with Pat King from Canada. All right, I'll look into that. I'm not sure who Pat King was. Was Pat King one of the leaders of the truckers convoy when they went into the Capitol? I mean, I could go get a cord here, and I got battery power. I just can't plug it in. I'll be right back. All right, yes, I am in a basement. Do you like my studio? This is a gift somebody gave me down at Freedom Corner one night. 5-Star Angel gave me that. A giant Constitution. Okay, he was one of the organizers. Thank you, Glory B. And yeah, a Gatorade bottle would work, but not right here. Yeah, we got to stay together, Glory be. Every day there's another reason for us to divide up and question things. And that whole Bondi thing was one of them, you know? I mean, yeah, something happened there, but it was no reason to go, Bondi doesn't know what she's doing, or Trump appointed the wrong person. That was the result that they wanted to get out of us. But it didn't need to happen that way. That's not what happened. Hopefully, I never saw any cameras of a truck rolling up to the DOJ office yet, but I mean, Bondi's short-handed, man. They just fired 5,000 prosecutors. I was in an argument with a lawyer today in Dilly Chat, man. Why there's positions open at the DOJ now, you know? Let's go. American lawyers, American patriots who are lawyers. The DOJ needs people right now, so make yourself useful. Nah, Smalley. Okay, what's up with these fires in South Carolina? All right, are we going through this again? Apparently, major fires going on in South Carolina started from multiple different places. There's no way that this was one fire that just started up. So here we go again. We have been totally under attack physically for the last 5 years. And it's getting crazy, man. It is getting crazy. Oh, really, Alley Waters? You got one too. This one's been around, man. I mean, it's been hung up in a lot of different places, but I like it. It works good for this is my studio now. This isn't my laboratory anymore. All right, C4 Freedom, hello. The fires should be out after today. All right, so they have made good progress on putting those fires out. Fires are scary, man. They can flare up. Yeah, I loved it when they walked Al Green out of that speech last night. Another investigation I don't have all the details on is Stacey Abrams somehow or another started up an NGO, and then next thing you know, she's got like $2 million in it from the USAID money. So let's get Stacey Abrams investigated. Finally, Stacey Abrams, by the way, is DC Mayor Bowser's wife. So there you go. Those two are a couple. And that's the other incestuous relationships of our wonderful government, man. All right, C4, a lot of rain would help that. That's for sure. That is for sure. Last month, we've had 50,000 deported last month. We have 8,000 military people on the southern border at this point. That's an improvement. Since Trump came into office, we have the cartels designated as terrorist organizations, so we're allowed to use military force against them. And that will be a 627% increase on the number of people deported over the FJB administration. Another good winning. Trump has made the English the official language of this country. Trump has gotten rid of DEI. Trump has gotten rid of critical race theory. Dead and dead. And he has declared that there are only two genders. Amazing stuff. And I think that one more thing. On a tragic note, if you guys were wondering about the Matthew Huddle, J6er Matthew Huddle situation, there is a new video out for a guy who does a pretty thorough explanation of it. This guy is not a J6 reporter, though. It's a channel called Here's the Deal. He is very anti-law enforcement, but very constitutional rights oriented type guy. And he initially put out a video about Matthew Huddle. Matthew Huddle was a J6er, and 6 days, he served 6 months in prison for a misdemeanor for walking into the Capitol on January 6th. And he was gunned down by a police officer in Indiana after a traffic stop. And when they initially reported this, it might have sounded like Matthew Huddle got into a gunfight with this guy or something. We didn't know. Well, on the YouTube channel called Here's the Deal, he just put a video out today that you can look up. He's got the body cam, the dash cam footage of what happened in the Matthew Huddle incident. And it is horrible. It is absolutely deplorable that that man calls himself a law enforcement a cop. I mean, the amount of hate and rage that this guy showed towards this, he wasn't an upstanding American citizen. Matthew Huddle has been in trouble before, but he wasn't hurting anybody. And next thing you know, he's got to get thrown in jail for felony traffic citations. Never heard of that before. But it's a horrible story. Yeah, suicide by cop almost. Matthew Huddle went running back to the car to kill himself and didn't make it back before the cop killed him for him. So that was horrible news, man. All right, Critical Thinker says, the Ashley stuff, yeah. There is good news about that. I got something about that, I believe, here. Well, here, I got a couple memes I could share with you while I'm looking for that. There we go. Isn't that a beautiful picture? But yeah, sunlight isn't toxic. Sunscreen is. All right, I'm not seeing the information on the Ashley thing, but the information on the Ashley thing is that the DOJ is looking to have the settlement in Ashley Babbitt's murder civil case settled soon, man. No, there has not been a settlement, but the DOJ is looking at it now with a new view, according to some reports that I saw there, Sapphire Patriot. Yeah, that was terrible with Matthew Huddle. There's some Zelensky toast. This I thought was the best one right here. That was good. Oh, here's some more good information. Looks like we're going to be getting some Benghazi files here soon. I'll believe it when I see it. You know how that goes, but apparently Pete Hegseth says it's time the public knows the truth. Big cover-up on that Benghazi thing. 4 good Americans were murdered in horrific ways due to the incompetence and criminality of Hillary Clinton. Oh, here's a strange little picture. Let's see. Is that today? Oh no, that's a photo from 1992. Imagine that. From Ruby Ridge. So it looks like we've been having the same problem now for 30-something years at least, where our FBI has been working against us sleepy Americans. We decided to wait for the COVID epidemic to wake us all up and begin fighting against this monster. Oh, MG, good reporting. Yes, I forgot about that. Benjamin Martin will be released tomorrow. I did hear about that yesterday. Benjamin Martin is a J6er with a pardon who is still in jail and finally will be released. Hopefully tomorrow. That is the plan. I forget what the hang-up was on Benjamin's case there. And now that leaves two J6ers still in jail, and I think one guy reported for jail, and I have not been able to find more information on that issue either. Amen, C4. We just got to wait for it to come out. But we've been denied this information for so long. It's just hard to wait. Yeah, here we go. Congress telling Elon, I cut the fat and the fraud, not you. Interesting tidbit is Elon's just uncovering the money that's gone out of this country. Haven't even begun investigating the money coming back into this country. There's a good one too. The robber is saying, give me all your money, and the guy's going, but I'm a politician. Okay, give me all my money. Amen, small water guy. But definitely, start looking for sources to get your news. Fox News isn't it. Here's, we still haven't heard about the next 5 things I did last week questionnaire. Apparently that went out one more time, and I haven't heard the end of that yet. Basically, it's a pulse check. Basically, all Elon is doing a pulse check on everybody on the payrolls in America. Oh, here, Beard Backroads. Is this the one you're talking about? That was awesome when Melee gave him that chainsaw. Elon did a Joe Rogan interview 3-hour broadcast just a couple days ago. I watched the whole thing. It was a commitment, you know. I had to do it in 2 sittings. That's a long interview, but it was very interesting. The whole interview was great. If you got 3 hours, you don't really got to watch it. You can just put it on while you're doing other things and listen to it. That's right, the bureaucracy chainsaw. I love it. That's an awesome looking chainsaw. What else we got here? Here's another one. I get a lot of these memes off of Hayden Music page. And that's on Rumble. They do a show every morning when Rumble can get their act together and actually let it get released. The guy doing this channel has been having tons of trouble with Rumble. So I don't know. There's pros and cons to it. And Rumble and YouTube ain't the only ones. There's other venues. There's X. There's Facebook. There's Twitch and Twiddle and a whole bunch of other ones. But I can only handle 2 at a time. And I'm not jumping onto X. But yeah, these are all mental deficiencies, and liberalism has put itself front and center. And here's a great picture, man. I want to share this picture with you guys. This was taken shortly after most of the J6ers got released in DC there. What a happy moment this was, man. We did it, Patriots. All the hard work. God bringing us together. God orchestrating our steps day by day. We had no idea what we were doing minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day. But this is what it resulted in. And I believe this is what God intended for it to happen. These are some fine patriots. And these are patriots who didn't get released from prison and just run away from D.C. right away. These guys are still in it. They are all touched by God. They have all had God put front and center in each of their lives. They have been tried in the fires, the refiner's fire, and these people are gold now. And we're just dusting off our feet and finding our rhythm here. And every single one of these people is an activated patriot, just as you all are. And we will see where that leads us, patriots. I was going to play that Elizabeth Warren thing again, but no, I want to end it right here on this beautiful picture of camaraderie, togetherness, faith in God, hard work, diligence, and I'd like to bless you all, patriots, for being here, staying plugged into this issue, for helping us get this battle done and over with. And yeah, God bless you, Mickey. God bless you, Nicole and Guy. Seeing Nicole and Guy getting together was one of the happiest moments I could ever remember. And I think there's some major happy moments going to be coming up for Mickey here soon with that lawsuit and with getting some honors to Ashley Babbitt, man. You're all in my prayers, patriots. So God bless you all. When I get another page of notes going, I'll be back. This is Jericho. Over and out.